you have done a lot, but you have dug yourself through it thanks to the grace of the Lord. Can you talk a bit about some of the chasms you've found yourself in and how that has led to the leadership journey that you've been on?
Yeah, Tamra, I've been in a few, and a lot of them were self-inflicted. I mean, sometimes we, even when we love God, we can do things or get ourselves in positions that we slowly walk down a road. I teach this concept called the road to Neverland. Where as we're walking down the path to fulfill our destiny or our vision that God's given us, that we get off that road. And sometimes we get so far off the road that the very things that we claim we would never do, I'd never drink and drive. I would never gossip profusely. I'd never cheat on my spouse. I'd never hit anyone. Those things that we say we would never do, we end up falling. And as you know, I had a major moral failure in my life. And most of that was based on a lot of arrogance. And that was based on insecurity. And, I teach people today that if you show me the most arrogant person in the room, I'll show you the most insecure. We were able to take a company that we bought when I was just turned 25, actually the month after my wife graduated from college. And over a 16-year period, we became the largest decorated sportswear apparel company in America in our industry. And, I saw all these things, my name on the trade journals and, Small Businessman of the Year one year in 5 states and top 10 in America. And all those things start going to your head and you start thinking you're God's gift to business, instead of that God gifted you in business. But after that moral failure, for quite a while, thank goodness God got a hold of me. And when people ask Sandra today, because when they ask me to describe Sandra, I say she's an angel in a woman suit. Because when I confessed to her what I'd done, I knew she was going to leave me. I had zero question.
Yeah.
None. And I just said, please don't take the kids. This is 100% my fault. Everything is yours. If we divorce, 100% yours. There's no split. You didn't deserve it. And she responded with, why would I leave you? I love you more than anything. I forgive you. And I cried hard. But I remember thinking, I want to be like that. I want to be one of those people that, you can look in the eye and see that Jesus is in there, like my wife. You could see that unconditional love and forgiveness. And it took a minute, but we restored it. And now, very thankful we have a good marriage. And when people ask her, how did you get through that? And this is my word of encouragement for anybody that's going through something is, she said, because the people would ask her, did you not know? And she'd say, deep down, I knew. Well, how did you get through it? I prayed every day that God would bring my husband back to me. And I just thought, man, so many lessons that I learned from her, God through her during that season. So, yeah, that was a chasm that was, a big one that I brought on myself. A lot of people say the devil made you do that. No, the devil don't make you do anything. Get off of that train. If you make a bad decision, don't blame the devil, blame yourself. Get yourself back together, turn back to God and let God pull you out of it.
Yeah, so good. And the way that you've shared this experience, not only from stage, but intimately in conversations, and then even here on the podcast, it's a reminder to us, no matter what side of the token we find ourselves on, whether we've inflicted that or we're on the other side, like your wife was, that like God's grace is so profound. His mercy is so good. And even what we can conjure up as the outcome of said story, God has so much more for it if we're willing. And I think that's where you were. You were in a state of willingness. She was in a state of willingness, and God transformed that to be where you all are now as leaders and moguls in marriage and ministry. And I'm so grateful for the homes that you've created and the legacy that you guys are leaving through being open and transparent about it. Because I think that's also an area in, marketplace ministry, just like church elements, the pulpit can have this pedestal-like facade. And you could say, wow, look at all the success that I have. But it's actually a way that you lead from that place of authenticity. You actually lead from the stories of the chasms rather than letting that be something that's in the secret place.